I came to mindfulness and meditation practice about 20 years ago when I was 18. And during the first 10 years of my practice, I had a lot of mental health challenges. I had chronic low level anxiety pretty much all the time, feeling listless, slightly keyed up, on edge, most of the time during most days. I was also, I became depressed on several occasions, excruciating, crushing, horrible experience for 3 or 4 months each. Two intimate relationships with women I care about very, very dearly, um, ended, largely as a result of my mental health challenges. I got drunk regularly, um, just to kind of, just to deal with the pressures of life, really, just to kind of weather this strain and struggle of existing. I experienced frequent outbursts of rage. I would shout at inanimate objects regularly, occasionally punch a wall, and I couldn't feel settled. I couldn't feel settled in myself or in a job or in a home. I was ill at ease. I was ill at ease. And over these 10 years, I tried various things. I saw various different psychotherapists, trying a range of different counseling methodologies. I took antidepressants on a few occasions, and, and, and these modern approaches helped. They did help. Um, they, they helped to alleviate my symptoms a little. My sense is that they didn't really address the root problem. It was more of like a sort of surface level, band-aid. Bottom line, I still couldn't find peace. I still couldn't find peace. My meditation practice during this time was intermittent. I tended to practice when I felt bad, and then when I felt better, I stopped. And and gradually over this 10 years, I did practice a little bit more frequently, as I noticed more and more the benefits and how my mental health dipped when I wasn't practicing consistently. Um, and, on the days that I practiced, I'd typically be practicing for 10 or 20 minutes a day, like sometimes half an hour, sometimes even an hour, but typically 10 to 20 minutes a day. Um, but again, a lot of the time I, I wasn't practicing. And then I discovered my secret formula for mental health. I found what worked for me to stay well, essentially. And this was a game changer. I found that if I meditated consistently for an hour a day, exercised regularly, vigorously, ate healthily, and maintained a joyful social life, I was generally well. I was generally in good mental health. Um, this Once I realized this is all I needed to stay well, then it became much easier. My motivation to maintain these habits was far higher, knowing that this is all I really needed to do. And for me, meditation is the keystone habit. For me, when I practiced meditation consistently for an hour or so a day, everything else kind of fell into place. The other habits that were important for me, remain important for me, were much more easy to maintain. And life tended to flow with a lot more ease, a lot more grace. And over the last 10 years, I've barely missed a day of meditation practice. It's just become infused, integrated into my life, into my way of life, into my routine. And these days, normally, I feel good. I feel really good. I'm generally contented and happy, relaxed, at peace, um, loving. I feel full of love for myself and others. Life, life flows with, um, with a kind of effortlessness. And I have far better judgment now, um, than I did those years ago. I'm not thrown around. I'm not sort of buffeted around by the emotional turmoil. And I have way more, spaciousness, way more, presence of mind to hold different views, to hold different perspectives. My view is not as rigid and limited in the way it was before. Um, in a sense, I'm far more open-minded and far more open-hearted than I used to be. And as a lucky bonus, now I love my work. My work is my passion. It's my calling. And it also is, I believe, the most impactful thing that I could be doing with my life. And it feels sustainable because I love it. And I'm deeply grateful for having finally, eventually, gradually discovered the practice, set of practices that allow me to thrive,